Right now, trillions of viruses are trying to break into your body. They are invisible, relentless, and outnumber your cells 10 to 1. With those odds, you might assume we'd constantly be sick. But the reason you're still sitting here is a multi-layered defense system that has spent 3 billion years learning to win this exact war. Let's trace a single, incredibly unlucky breath. Long before a virus reaches your cells, it has to navigate a gauntlet of physical tracks. The primary hurdle is your mucus, a sticky, antibody-laced net designed to physically capture foreign invaders. Once trapped, millions of tiny hair-like structures called cilia rhythmically beat in coordinated waves, sweeping the trapped virus up your airway so you can swallow it, dropping it directly into the destructive bath of your stomach acid. Most invasions end right there. But sometimes the physical barriers fail. A single viral particle slips past, finds a healthy cell, and breaches the membrane. It begins multiplying immediately. The clock is now ticking, and your body is completely unaware. The first responders are macrophages. These are massive patrol cells roaming your tissues. They don't need to know exactly what the virus is, they just know it doesn't belong. When a macrophage finds a foreign particle, it blindly swallows it whole. These cells act as your body's alarm system. Upon detecting an invader, they release chemical signals called cytokines and interferons. These function as sirens, warning neighboring, healthy cells to lock down their membranes and stop taking in outside material. Meanwhile, natural killer cells begin patrolling the area, performing a biological ID check. They inspect healthy cells for a specific surface protein called MHC class I. When a cell is infected, the virus often forces it to hide this protein. If the natural killer cell notices that ID is missing, it initiates a scorched earth protocol. It injects a lethal protein called perforin, which punches holes in the infected cell's membrane and forces the cell to commit suicide, destroying the viral factory inside. Simultaneously, your brain receives the alarm signals and artificially raises your core body temperature. This fever is a tactical weapon. At higher temperatures, viral replication slows down to a crawl, while your immune cells actually operate faster and more aggressively. This innate response is violent, and it can be dangerous. If the immune system floods the tissues with too many inflammatory signals at once, it triggers a cytokine storm. This massive, self-inflicted inflammation is exactly what killed so many healthy young people during the 1918 flu pandemic. As fast and powerful as innate immunity is, it fights blind. It attacks the general concept of an infection. To actually win the war, your body requires specific, targeted intelligence on the enemy. That intelligence is gathered by dendritic cells. Think of them as spies. A dendritic cell captures a small, distinctive fragment of the invading virus, an antigen, and prepares to deliver it to central command. Leaving the battlefield behind, the dendritic cell migrates through your lymphatic vessels at high speed, carrying the viral fragment directly to the nearest lymph node. Inside the lymph node, the spy presents this viral fragment to thousands of resting T cells. It tests the antigen against cell after cell, searching until it finds the one single T cell equipped with the exact corresponding receptor. Finding that match triggers clonal expansion. In a matter of days, that single specialized T cell divides rapidly, creating an army of millions of custom-built clones, all designed to identify that specific viral shape. Your body has just reverse-engineered an invisible enemy it had never encountered before and manufactured a bespoke weapon specifically to destroy it. This custom army of cytotoxic T cells floods the battlefield. Unlike the macrophage's blunt force, these cells act as precision assassins. They ignore healthy tissue. They scan specifically for cells displaying the exact viral antigen they were programmed to find, and then trigger apoptosis, cleanly terminating the infected cell from the inside out. This highly targeted strike requires intense coordination from helper T cells. When viruses like HIV specifically infect and destroy those helper cells, the entire adaptive system collapses. The assassins have no target, the body is left defenseless, and opportunistic infections take over. While the T cells handle the infected cells, another branch of the adaptive response activates. B cells transform into microscopic weapons factories, pumping out thousands of specialized proteins called antibodies every second. These Y-shaped antibodies seek out free-floating viruses in the bloodstream. Through a process called neutralization, the antibody caps the outer spikes of the virus, acting like a physical lock that prevents the virus from ever docking onto a healthy cell. This dual strike breaks the invasion. T cells assassinate the viral factories hiding inside your cells, while antibodies neutralize the virus out in the open. With the viral load dropping to zero, the war ends. Your fever breaks. The massive clone army of T cells and B cells undergoes programmed cell death, their violent purpose fulfilled. But a select few of these custom-built cells remain. They embed themselves permanently into your tissues and lymph nodes, going dormant as memory cells. This chart illustrates why that matters. The first curve represents your initial, slow response to a new virus. The second spike shows what happens if that exact same virus ever returns. Because those memory cells are trained, your immune system reacts thousands of times faster, crushing the infection instantly. This biological archive is the basis of how vaccines work and why you only get chickenpox once. Surviving an illness is a permanent biological software update. Your immune system is a sophisticated learning computer, operating a living archive of every microscopic war you have ever fought and won.